The city of Dallas is making a major investment in fixing neighborhoods that are severely lacking in the very basics: streets, sidewalks, access to medical care. Tonight, Southern Dallas County reporter Brittany Moncrief reveals what some residents are facing right now.
September 7, 1954. The halls at Melissa Pierce School stood just as they are today, empty. Students at the all-black school in Dallas' southeast neighborhood of Joppa joined the NAACP to advocate for integration. It was just 4 months after the Supreme Court declared separate was not equal. But these newspaper clippings from that time say the Texas Education Agency ruled that segregation will continue that year.
I was actually born in this community, so I'm fourth of 5 generations.
Shalandria Gallamore's parents attended the school, which became a church in the 1970s. And for more than a decade now, sits vacant.
It's extremely frustrating, especially when you go to other parts of the city of Dallas and you don't see this.
Or this.
As you can see, the streets, sidewalks.
Streets and sidewalks that are crumbling too.
Here's the infrastructure deficiency levels. The dark would be the highly deficient areas. And here's the redlined areas from within that.
Joppa is what SMU professor Barbara Minsker calls an infrastructure desert. We first told you about infrastructure deserts in March.
There's a community center over here, but there's no crosswalk, so people have to walk all the way down.
As she took us through Jubilee Park in South Dallas.
There was a real story there of these low-income neighborhoods with highly deficient infrastructure relative to other neighborhoods.
Her study, using data from 2018 to 2019, identifies 12 types of infrastructure deserts, such as food access, sidewalks, and gathering places.
At that time, there were 62 infrastructure deserts around the city.
Most of them in southern and western Dallas.
You know it when you see it, right? You see this neighborhood, you can see that its infrastructure has not been cared for and kept up, or maybe isn't there in the first place.
Just like Joppa.
It's extremely frustrating for the ones that were here, that were fighting before me, and they got it in a bond package, but yet here 20, 30 years later, it's still, well, we don't know what happened to that money.
We should not have these problems to persist as long as they have.
Dallas Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Carolyn King Arnold says City Council has put infrastructure needs high on their list, passing a $1.2 billion bond package in the special bond election in May.
It's now time for the lenses that we look through day to day to be cleaned off, and we see where we have an opportunity to be equitable in terms of the decisions that we make for this city. If Dallas is to be what we want it to be, we must have investment from the community.
A very first sketch that we did.
That's why Gallimore, along with architect Augustine Marto, are working to turn the former Pierce School into a multi-purpose center, a process designers call adaptive reuse.
In the architecture and urban planning world, people are starting to pay attention to this idea of the 15-minute city, which is basically offering all the neighborhoods of the city all the needs that they need within a radius of 15-minute walk.
The center filling the need of a gathering place.
If you're reusing the infrastructure desert, or let's just say that the vacant building, for example, for something that this specific community needs, then you're just empowering the community itself.
A power.
The child of a former slave actually donated the land for this building.
That fought for integration.
People still want to dream. You know, like I said, it's decades and many families that are still here. And right now they just want to see it happen. We've been talking about it over the years. Now they just want to actually see something happen.
As the next generation continues their fight for change. In Dallas, I'm Brittany Moncrief.